once again, it's time to give a video update. Man, let me tell you, time go by so fast, man. Welcome back to the vlog. I haven't really been feeling really motivated lately. Let me show you why. You see it? You see it? Yeah. So basically, y'all remember that this thing dropped, right? This lens, okay, this lens stays on this camera the whole time. This camera that you're watching right now, it stays on that camera, pretty much living there. And I've been very bold here lately, and I've been keeping it on there, and I'm putting it on a tripod, right? You know those driving videos that, I love seeing those videos because I think it shows a really good perspective of a trucker's life, you know what I mean? Specifically on the road. And that's why I like taking those videos. And I think it tells the whole story without actually, mentioning the story or whatever, right? Anyway, I keep it on a tripod, and there are times that you gotta break hard, right? Like specifically when people cut you off or whatever, you know what I mean? And that's part of trucking, right? And I've been very, very bold. It actually dropped 2 times now, or 3 times total. This is its demise now. 3 times total, it's dropped ever since I've been putting it on the tripod. Like I said, I've been very, very just being dumb, really. So that's why I haven't been feeling really, really, really good because of this. Because like it's not only the price, because this thing costs like $2,100, like almost $2,200 for this freaking lens. You remember that? The lens that I have on right now is about the same price, and this is $2,800 for this, which I rarely use. Like I said, I don't have an ND filter again, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I know, no one cares about some camera gears, but that's what I'm passionate about. You know what I mean? Even though that thing hurts quite a bit as far as like price wise, I love that lens. I think that's why I was a little, down, because I love that lens, and then this lens right here is a little too close, right? Anyway, let's talk about trucking, right? Here is our current load right now. Easy. Secure the bucket. This thing weighs almost 20,000 pounds, so you have to have 4 points of securement on all four corners, right? And look, last load, there was residue of oil. So I'm gonna pop them up on the screen right now. That load that left this residue right here on the bed was actually from Mobile, Alabama. So if you guys remember correctly, that last load that we had was going to like Columbus, Georgia, right? Close to the Columbus, Georgia area. But of course you guys secure the bucket, right? Anyway, it come from Columbus, Georgia area, and we found us a load, or that load that come from Wisconsin going to Columbus, Georgia area. This load right here, and then we found us a load. Look at that, coming from um, Mobile, Alabama, and that Mobile, Alabama load went to this beautiful state of New Mexico. New Mexico is so beautiful. It's just there's nothing here. But anyway, so we had delivered that load already. That's why I haven't been making no video, technically speaking, is that we have been freaking busy. That's why we haven't been really making videos. And plus, I was a little depressed, you know what I mean, with my lens being destroyed. So we're headed home. That's why we got this load. Got this load from Albuquerque. So we're gonna head home and take a break. Actually, the route that I've been taking has been great. So we went from Wisconsin. At first, we went from Alabama, right? Uh, so okay, talk about the whole trip, right? I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but anyway, so we did an oversize from Las Vegas to the Idaho area, close to the border of Utah. Okay, and then from there we took a partial, which is a freaking horrible uh, experience, right? And then we took that partial 1,400 miles before we got us another partial that went on to Charlotte, North Carolina, and then on to the border of North Carolina and South Carolina. Dropped both of those off, right? And then we picked up a load from there that was a forklift, a load of forklift. Took it from 50 miles away where we dropped off, took it to Georgia, right? Southern part of Atlanta. And then from southern part of Atlanta, we went to Bessemer, Alabama, took a load from there to up to Wisconsin, Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and then from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, we went to what was that? What town is that? I can't remember the town name, but it's close to the Green Bay area, right? Anyway, we went from there back to Alabama, well, border of Alabama and Georgia, and then from there we picked up in Mobile, Alabama. From Mobile, Alabama, we went up to New Mexico, just like 200 miles away from Albuquerque, and I was like, you know what? Let me go look for other loads, and I found this load, right, that is coming out of Albuquerque, and this Albuquerque, I was like, you know what? It's gonna be a partial because the way they had it listed. See, the thing about me with equipment, right? I'm not too familiar with the model numbers, okay? And this one in particular, okay, it's just that I wasn't familiar of it, but broker listed it as 24 foot, 18,000 pounds. Let's go out there again and let me go show you. As you can see, that thing is taking way more than 24 foot. The bottom deck that we have is 42 and like 0.10, 42.10 on the length, okay? From the neck of the trailer all the way to the back. Clearly, that piece of equipment is taking up way more than 24 foot, okay? Now, the thing is these thing right here, like I said, I'm not really that familiar with these, you know. Anyway, this thing, when you have it folded up and resting, that thing, that point right there, I measured it. It's 11 and a half tall. So that's not good. That's why we had to spread it out like the way we have it on right now, you know. I'm not very familiar with this equipment, but I was thinking about just bending that hydraulic and keep that thing bent and then just lean it down just so at least I have some more room, right? But that cylinder up there does not go that far. That's why you can't do it. Anyway, yeah, that thing is more than 24 foot. The broker did not specifically say that this is going to be a partial or it was a partial load, okay? Um, it doesn't say it on the Raycon, right? So I'm assuming that's why I automatically assumed that I should be able to put something on this load. Now, I was like, I think I can find something. Luckily, I did not find anything. See, my point is that if I knew that that thing was gonna be way longer than 24 foot, I would have never taken it because that thing pays $1,200 to go 580 miles. That's not good. That's not good at all. So, yeah. I mean, we're on the way home anyway. I was gonna deadhead no matter what. See, the thing is, like, we still did so good throughout that 2.5 weeks, right? 2.5 weeks, yeah, something like that. I believe total we gross almost 18, maybe 18 by the time we ended in Las Vegas. I can't remember. What was it? I don't remember. I don't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, we're gonna be grossing above 15. 2.5 weeks. I don't mind that at all. You know. So anyway, that's where we are. We are here. We're on the way home. We're actually just 300 miles away from home, and I figure I'll go make a video because I haven't made a video in like 3 days or so. But anyway, oh yeah, we had to hustle on the way here. Oh, let me tell you a story on that one load that come from Mobile, Alabama. Okay, so I called in on the load. That load paid 4,600, by the way. There was another similar load, the same, going to the same place, and I asked the guy directly, and he showed it to me. He's paid 5,000. The reason for that is that I booked my load at 10 in the morning. He booked his load at 2 in the afternoon, and both loads had to leave that same day by 4 o'clock. That's why. Okay, I'm not too mad about it really, because that load paid over $3 a mile. It was like 310 to the mile. Okay, and I was ready to go home. That's why. Anyway, so I called on this load, right? Broker's like, yeah, man, it has to be picked up today, and it has to be it has to be delivered by Wednesday. I was looking at the miles. Okay, I think we can do it. No problems, right? I mean, I think it's 1,380 miles, 1,370 miles or something like that. Anyway, I was like, I think it could be done. Okay, so I said, yeah, sure. And then when it comes time to it, like, see, the thing is, like, with me, when the broker tells me that everything is first come first serve, first come first serve at the pickup, first come first serve at the drop off. Okay, that tells me that a lot of times they don't have appointment on this thing. Okay, now when it comes to appointment, a lot of times most of your brokers will emphasize the appointment part. Okay, I mean, that's because, I mean, obviously, because it's a critical thing, right? So anyway, so I get going, I pick up that load, I get going on the road, and I'm rushing, right? You know what I mean? I'm hustling down the road, and broker sends an email saying that this load uh, has an appointment at 7 a.m. appointment sharp, or else they will be fined. I said, what? I called her back, and then I asked her. I was like, what do you mean? Like, when I initially see, the problem with bigger brokerages, right? You have the people that negotiate the rate, and then you have the people that are managing the movement of that load, which is two different people. Okay, and that's where the miscommunication came, is that the guy that I spoke to initially had not mentioned the appointment, and the girl that handles the movement of that particular freight did not know. I did not know that they had appointment, and that's what it was. So she was like, uh, "Couldn't you tell me this before you picked it up, that you couldn't make it?" You know what I mean? That at that time I was like, "Well, that because it wasn't communicated." You know what I mean? That should have been communicated. She said. I said, "Well, it wasn't." You know what I'm saying? And it seemed like she making it my fault. You know, make it seem like making it my fault. And see that this is the thing. Is like, with brokers, when you're dealing with brokers, I got no issue with dealing with brokers, but a lot of times that contract and that rate con is, it favors them, right? You're on a chokehold for them, you know. Anyway, um, so I'm over here biting my tongue, you know, lowering my tone, because I mean, yes, it is somewhat my fault, because yes, it was on the rate con that it says 07, and she put that on there, but on the BOL there's no such thing as 07. Okay, so which one is correct? You know what I mean? Anyway, make a long story short, I did sign the rate con, you know, and I did not see that. I did not see where it says 07, because it's pretty much almost hidden. Okay, I don't think they're doing anything malicious. Trust me, not the broker, not the one who sent the rate con. Okay, uh, I think there was a miscommunication there. I think that's what happened. Anyway, so when I looked at the rate con and it says 07 on there, I said, oh man, we are screwed again. You know what I mean? I didn't want the rate being reduced. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to make me feel so bad, you know? So anyway, I spoke to the receiver, and receiver's like, oh yeah, sure, no problem, man. You guys didn't leave there until, mind you, we left Mobile, Alabama. I left the shipper at 5:30. The other guy left the shipper probably around 6:30 or so. Okay, because I got there before him. So and like I said, the receiver was like, "Oh yeah, man, you guys left there so late, so it's understandable, right? There's no problem." You know what I mean? And I got to the drop off at 11 or 11:30. I gave uh, the person that's in charge of the, you know what I mean, the movement of that freight. is I told her 11:30, and then she's like, well, call me back when you get it delivered, and then we're gonna talk about it, see if there's gonna be any repercussions. I said, so I just said, okay, okay, sure, no problem, you know. That demotivates me so much more. You know what I mean? It's like because you're doing all of these, right? You're hustling, you're doing all of these, and then next thing you know, you're like, really, man? Anyway, there was not. It ended up, at least I haven't heard from her yet, you know, and it's a clean BOL, no problems from the receiver, nothing, no problems at all, you know. So we submitted for invoicing. We'll see. Anyway, I don't think she hasn't said anything about it. Hopefully, she don't come around our back and just be like reduce that rate at the end. You know what I mean? Or penalize us for it, whatever. You know. Either way, I think it's going to be a crappy situation if they penalize us for it, and I would hate that situation. Really, I would hate that so bad. I'm not, you know, it's part of business though. It really is. I don't. A lot of times I get caught up emotionally with a lot of things, you know, and a lot of these people that we deal with on a regular basis, they just look at it as a business, man, and I don't think it's anything personal or nothing like that, you know. So that's why I'm not too worried about it. So anyway, we're heading home. Gonna take a few days off, and we're gonna be bidding on Very Trade. Hopefully, we can move something out of there. You know what I mean? For what you call it, to go east or whatever, or maybe even just locally. You know, just trying to wiggle our way around this crazy, man. Like, I'm already looking at rates within the Vegas area. They still look like crap. Oh, one more thing, right? One more thing, like you know how I said like I looked at it and it says 24 foot of space, right? I was like, okay. I was looking around. I found two loads. One load was like another forklift, right? Or it's a man lift, and this guy, 27 foot, and he wants to move it for 80 cents a mile, coming from Albuquerque area. And he said he gave me the dimensions, so I told him so it's a step deck. They had it listed for a flatbed. I said, so it's a step deck load. So you need 27 foot of step deck load or a step deck space. He was like, well, it could be loaded on a flat deck. I said, not with the dimensions you gave me. And then he was like, oh well, and then he just kept on talking. I was like, man, nah, this not a good fit for me, man. Appreciate you though. Appreciate your time. And then I hung up. So anyway, that I think that's just this is where we are though. This is the frustration that we have right now. Like I know there's a lot of new carriers, a lot of newbies out there, you know what I mean, trucker wise. A lot of new brokers out there too, man. Like the brokers, you feel like the broker side of things is the same thing, you know what I mean? It's like a high turnover rate, man. It's just like cuz like they are like I said, they are trying to move something that weighs 20,000 pounds. I mean, I was never ever gonna take it for the rate that they were going listing it for. It disappeared off the load board. I'm guessing somebody took it, which is insane to me. Anyway, it's like they listed it for a flatbed and it doesn't belong on a flatbed. It's supposed to be on a step deck. And at the same time, they want 27 foot of space for 80 cents a mile, man. I understand it's Albuquerque, right? I get it. It's Albuquerque. Yeah, it's not going to be not much coming out of there. That's why I was so happy when I saw this rate. And then I saw that it was 24 foot long. I was like, here goes an opportunity for us, right? It turns out it's not too much of an opportunity. Like if I knew that I was gonna basically come out of Albuquerque just with this load, I would have never come back and taken it because we were already 150 miles in towards Las Vegas past Albuquerque. Why go back another 150 to go pick up something that is paying just slightly over $2 a mile? That makes no sense. You know what I mean? So anyway, we're committed to it, so we're just gonna have to go through it. You know, we're through with it. I mean, we're going home anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's going right there, delivering right there in Henderson. So it's just that I see myself like when I'm out on the truck, you know what I mean? Like when I'm out on the road for a long time, this one isn't even that long, but I can see that my energy level and my enthusiasm level slowly depletes. You know what I mean? And which is rightfully so, right? But it's just that I pay less attention and I make more mistakes, you know. And I try not to make the mistakes, you know what I mean? It's just, but they do happen, right? Unfortunately. Anyway, that's it, man. I'm not complaining, none at all. I hate it. I don't like the idea of complaining. We just try to always find a solution. You know what I mean? So we will see y'all in the